Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am going to go through a bunch of smaller articles today that I've collected about petrification because it just blows my mind that people back in the 17 and 1800s, even early 1900s, viewed petrification as pretty much a normal everyday thing, and there were doctors that were doing it. It's just really bizarre. So I don't know what they were thinking. It was a crazy time back then, I'm sure. But here we go. This one is from 1872. Human flesh petrified to a resemblance of ivory. A traveler writes as follows to the London News. The petrification of corpses is not a new art in Italy. At the commencement of the present century, it was practiced by a medical man at Florence, and in one of the hospitals of the town, the bosoms of a woman were shown which were petrified by him. It has all the appearance of ivory and is in a perfect state of preservation. In the hospital there is a table apparently of pietra dure. The different stones, however, of which it is formed are petrified slices of human flesh. Well, that's really nice that they're, doing all that stuff in the hospital. That's great. Okay, so this one is 1858. Petrified wood and large siphon. We have some fine specimens of petrified pine taken from the Scraperville Tunnel in Table Mountain, Tuolumne County. They were broken from the stump of a tree, 6 feet in diameter at the base and 2.5 feet on top, the whole completely petrified. The stump was discovered 200 feet below the surface of the earth and 600 feet from the mouth of the tunnel. In this tunnel there is a siphon, 1,450 feet in length, in successful operation, the largest one we believe in the state. This siphon is made of galvanized iron and discharges 45 gallons of water per minute. So, I don't know if they found a 1,450 foot siphon that's still operating in a tunnel. It kind of seems that way, but I don't know. That's a little hard to believe. Okay, this one's 1845. The Petrified Forest. One of the most remarkable natural curiosities in Texas is a petrified forest near the head of Pascano River. It is turned to stone. Some trees now growing are partly petrified. This is a startling fact for natural philosophers and must cause them to modify the existing theory of petrification. So that's one in Texas. We have a petrified forest in Arizona, in California, in Missouri. I mean, they're like all over. Cairo. Okay, this one's 1820, going back a little ways. You could tell from the archaic writing. See if I can read this. The following statement was given by something Aga, the Tripolitan ambassador at the court of Great Britain, about the year 1747, relative to a petrified city in the interior of Africa. It strongly brings to mind the awful circumstances recorded in the 18th chapter of Genesis, verse 26, and may be interesting to some of your readers. Its reality may be confirmed through the researches of the enterprising traveler Mr. Ritchie, who proceeded some time hence with an expedition from Tripoli for the purpose of exploring the interior of that vast continent. As one of my friends desired, us to give him in writing an account of what I knew touching the petrified city situated 17 days' journey from Tripoli by caravan to the southeast and 2 days' journey south from Ugueda. I told him that I had heard from different persons, and particularly from the mouth of one man of credit who had been on the spot, that is to say, that it was a spacious city of a round form, having great and small streets therein, furnished with shops, with a large castle magnificently something, that he had been there he had seen there several sorts of trees, and most parts olives and palms, all of stone, and of a blue or rather red color. Now, if this is in the middle of Africa and it's a round city, it really makes me think of that round thing in the middle of the desert in Africa, the Richard structure that they say might be Atlantis, or it might be a plasma beam or something that hit it. But, who knows? Maybe they already went there in the 1700s and stripped it all. Okay, a blue or rather red color, that he saw also figures of men in postures of exercising their different employments, some holding in their hands stuff, others bread, everyone doing something, even women suckling their children, all of stone. That he went into the castle by 3 different gates, though there were many more, that there were guards at these gates with pikes and javelins in their hands. In short, that he saw in this wonderful city many sorts of animals, as camels, oxen, horses, giraffes, and sheep, and various birds, all of stone, and all of the color aforementioned. So all of them were blue or red, and everything, the trees, the birds, the people. I wonder, I'd have to look to see 17 days journey from Tripoli. If you could probably look that up and see where that is. Very interesting. Okay, this one's 1912. Aged bologna, now petrified. Funny that this is Oscar Mayer, the bologna. Okay, Henry Meyer of this city has a curiosity in the shape of a piece of bologna that is 32 years old. At the time it was made, Mr. Mayer and Fred Bauman were in the butcher business, and the day that this bologna was made, Mr. Bauman took sick, and upon stepping outside of the door, fell dead. Mr. Mayer took a piece of the bologna and wrapped it in a piece of paper, took it home and placed it in his trunk, where it has remained ever since. In looking through the trunk the other day, he came across the bologna and found that it was petrified, but had the appearance of just being made. So maybe this isn't Oscar Mayer bologna, but I don't know. It seems kind of weird that, his friend died and then the bologna petrified. What would make him take the bologna? I don't know. Just weird thoughts. Okay, this one is from 1912. Petrified grapes from mines. Edwin O'Brien, landlord of the Grand View Hotel, Mouch Chunk, has a perfect bunch of petrified grapes taken out of a coal mine 1,200 feet below the surface. So crazy stuff going on back then to make a whole bunch of grapes petrify and be entombed 1,200 feet below the surface. Okay, this next one's from 1911. Petrified foot found of cave dweller that was 12 feet tall, Des Moines, Iowa. What is believed to be the petrified foot of a prehistoric cave dweller has been discovered in the rock beds along the Des Moines River near its confluence with the Raccoon River. It would appear that the member was that of a man at least 12 feet in height, a powerful build. Okay, this one's 1906. Let me pull it up here. A petrified giant in historic mansion. In making some repairs on the heavy stone foundation of the old Carlisle house at Alexandria, Virginia, workmen broke into a small secret chamber in the masonry, long since forgotten, and found in it the petrified body of a man. It is believed to have been a giant Indian nearly 7 feet tall. The house was built in 1732, but the foundation, according to tradition, was laid in 1650. Washington often stopped there, and he and Braddock made it their last headquarters before setting out on the Fort Duquesne expedition in the French and Indian War. Okay, this one's from 1903, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hundreds of persons are being attracted to West Liberty Borough to view a remarkable petrified man which rests on a hillside at that place. Many declare that this imposing figure must have been 10 to 12 feet high in real life. The relic was discovered today when men dynamited an old tree and opened a large cave where the petrified figure was discovered. West Liberty has many alum and sulfur springs, the action of which is believed to account for the appearance of the strange figure. Okay, the next one's from 1902. Bodies turned to stone. 9 petrified corpses found in a New York cemetery. 9 petrified bodies have been found in the cemetery attached to the New York Infant Asylum at Mount Vernon. The asylum was closed recently, and it became necessary to remove the bodies in the cemetery. While the work was going on today, the workmen exhumed 9 bodies that have the appearance of white marble and are as solid as a rock. Reminds me of all the Greek statues that look so real. I'm sure a lot of them are. Okay, this one is 1902. Indians claim to have found petrified vessel in the interior of Alaska. W.A. Reed, Secretary of the Skagway YMCA, has returned from the interior of Alaska, where he talked with the Indians, whose earnest statements he believes fully confirm previous reports that the Indians of the lower Yukon have discovered an immense petrified ship on Porcupine River near the Arctic Circle and north of Rampart, Alaska. When asked regarding its size, the Indians traced its dimensions on the ground, indicating a length of 1,200 feet. Such Indians as are familiar with the Bible are convinced that the ship is none other than Noah's Ark. Reed intends to return to the interior of Alaska this summer, when he will take some Indians and request Army officers to detail soldiers to accompany him. The ship lies on a high hill, thousands of feet above sea level. That's really interesting. Okay, this one's 1902. Flesh was petrified. Oh, that's nice. Successful test of a new embalming field on the body of a Michigan Negro. Battle Creek, Michigan. The body of John Leake, a Negro who died 6 months ago, which was given to an undertaker in order that he might test a new embalming fluid, has been exhumed. The body has the consistency of vulcanized rubber and might readily pass for a statue of black marble, as the petrified flesh is hard enough to take a polish. There is not the slightest trace of decomposition or wasting, the features retaining their fullness. The experimenter says the fluid will preserve the body for centuries. So yeah, they're doing this crap all over the place. Petrified petroleum as a fuel. A newly discovered mineral which is of a lustrous black color and which as a fuel surpasses coal and all other substances heretofore known is found on the island of Barbados in the Lesser Antilles, where the natives call it manjack. It is thought that manjack is petrified petroleum, great quantities of petroleum being found on the same island. I wonder what that is. I've never heard of manjack. And that was in 1899. Okay, this is 1895. Iowa's petrified giant, Centerville, Iowa. The Appanoose County petrified giant continues to be the wonder of this section of Iowa. It is 16 feet 4 inches in length, actual measurement, and the width of the body at the shoulders is 52 inches, with a thickness of 28 inches throughout the chest. The whole body was in stone, and it weighed 2 tons on the scales in this city. The find has been purchased by the regents of the State University and placed in the museum of the college in Iowa City, where it now is on exhibition. The regents got it for a song. I'm sure they did. Okay, I wonder where that 16 foot 4 inch giant petrified thing is. Okay, 1894, tons of petrified fish. In the northwestern part of Colorado, there is a region several hundred square miles in extent, which is literally a vast deposit of petrified fish of all sizes and shapes. These fish beds, shale-containing fish remains, are about 150 feet in thickness and extend up and down the Green River for a distance of 150 or 200 miles. Interesting. Something poured out and settled right there. Okay, this one is 1894. Unearthed a petrified elephant, Topeka, Kansas. H.M. Sternberg of Lawrence, while prospecting around Castle Rock in Cove County near the Smoky Hill River, unearthed the entire form of a petrified elephant together with numerous parts of lions, camels, and other animals. Okay, this one is 1892. Gold in a petrified body. Silver Mountain, Colorado. Two prospectors, Taylor Markley and James Colville, while crossing a large body of snow, sank through and found themselves in a cave 8 feet deep and about 40 wide. They explored the cave and found upon a niche the petrified body of an infant child with a string of beads about its neck and a bracelet of gold filigree work about its arm. In handling the object, which weighed about 140 pounds, a toe was broken off. Noticing a peculiar glitter on the surface of the fracture, the men had the fragment analyzed and found it to be strongly impregnated with gold. It is believed that the object is the petrified body of a child of people of Indian and Spanish blood who inhabited the valley 100 years ago. Now, how they made that conclusion, I don't know. 1892, petrified trees. Louisiana and Ohio are noted localities for petrified trees. In the former state, several years ago, in turning up the ground, an ancient forest was unearthed, and in succession, two others below the first. Scientists, judging from the state of the trees, say that at least 50,000 years elapsed between the growth of the first and the last forest. In some parts of the island of Antigua, one of the British Leeward group, there are some remarkable examples of stone forests. In Van Diemen's Land, similar forests are known to exist. Some of these are only partly silicified, while others are changed to chalcedony, hard enough to cut glass. See, those petrified forests and trees are everywhere. And I'm running out of time, so this will be the last one, a petrified manfish. John Hopp has a curiosity on exhibition at his store, which we think we are safe in saying no one in this locality has ever seen the like before. It is a specimen of the manfish and was found in the wind caves of the Badlands in the state of South Dakota. The animal is petrified and is in a perfect state of preservation. The head of the creature is of exactly the same shape as that of the human cranium, only it is much smaller. The eyes, nose, ears, and forehead, in fact, every portion of the head resembles that of a man. The neck is slender and the shoulders uniform, and the entire anatomy appears the same as that of the human body. The arms are perfect, as are also the hands, with the exception of the nails, which have more the appearance of a canine's nail. Then the ribs and spinal column are perfectly formed, making the upper portion of the body as nearly like the form of a man as is possible. Below the ribs, the body resembles that of a fish. The scales and fins are as clearly shown as though the fish had just been taken from the water. The fish, if such it is classed as, was given to him while in Sioux City by a man who had been traveling through western Dakota and Montana collecting specimens. It measures about 14 inches in length and looks quite hideous, with the long thin hair over its head and face. So we have a tiny 14-inch, hideous looking, with long thin hair, petrified merman, or merfish, or manfish. So that's kind of crazy. The Badlands in South Dakota, holding some crazy crap out there. Okay, I have 2 minutes left on my timer. Let's see. Petrified walls or houses. A gentleman who has just returned from a visit to the mountains in the vicinity of Crawfish Springs, now Chickamauga, and who has devoted considerable time to the study of archaeology, has much to say of the wonders and beauties of that section. Few are aware, says he, that high up on Pigeon Mountain, which joins Lookout in making Micklemore's Cove, there is a strange and beautiful formation of stone and rock, strikingly resembling ancient buildings in the process of decay. Many perfect petrifications are found on the mountains, and one can readily imagine that these stony ridge of remains, which the credulous mountaineers call the Rock City, are the petrified walls of houses which once echoed to the voice and tread of man, the simulacrum of a ruined city.